my wife decided to bring a hooker, yeah, into my house, my humble abode. And now you want me to chase this hooker out and then deal with my wife who brought the hooker into you see the mathematics.
It will depend on the parties involved and the community you're from and how you've been raised. But at the same time, we also have to consider this that the society we are in at the moment as well is different from back then. So there are several aspects to consider.
Nah, it's just not important in a serious relationship. Those type of things develop with society. I mean, maybe back 50,000 years. No, sorry, not 50. 50 years ago, maybe it was normal for a woman to just be in the kitchen and blah blah blah. By the end of the day, 50 years ago, a man could literally be the only person working, and him at the age of 21 being able to afford a mansion. Like that's a difference between now, I mean, then and now. I mean, you have your grandfather being like, "Oh, you're still living at home. Why haven't you got your own house, bro?" But when you were 21 back in 1912, you could buy a mansion for £11. Like we can't. We have to be spending 500,000 just to afford a studio. It's a different it's a different era. It's a different um society. Like women should have the ability to and the means to seek their dreams and do what they actually want to do. If they don't want to be tied down to being at home and just cleaning and cooking and that being their life, at the end of the day, like they literally have that choice. That should be a choice that they have. Raising a kid, like, is it just a woman's job to raise the kid? Like, you two should work together to raise that child.
Also, as a person, you also have to be aware of how the other person you're getting with has been raised, how the values that they've been raised with. There are some who've been raised in this era, but they still have the notions and ideas that a woman should do this and that in the house, clean, cook, and the man should do that. So it's up to you to determine whether that's the kind of person you want.
Personally, kind of like we're in the 21st century now. Like, women also work, but personally, in my house, I've seen my mom work and cook as well, and it's worked out for them. I wouldn't say that that's how I'd want it to be. I'd want a man who can still cook for himself. Like, maybe something happens to me and he's able to do, he's able to hold his own with the kids and everything like that. But I would, like, I've seen the way like my dad feels when my mom cooks for him or whatever. Like, I'd want my husband to feel like, oh, my wife who cooks for me. Like, do you know what I mean? I want that kind of yeah, feeling. But I wouldn't say it's like 100% like it must be that way for a relationship to work?
They're not. They're not important. How do I even word this, man? This is long. I have to take my time for this one. I feel like they're important. I think all three of those things, cooking, cleaning, and working, are important to both men and women. They're things that both men and women should be able to do. In a relationship, it really depends on the lane of work that you do and the lane of work that your woman does, and the compromises you've already made to run the house accordingly to that. So if you have to cook certain days because your wife does a certain shift pattern, or you've got to pick up the kids certain days because your wife does a certain shift pattern, that should be okay, considering that it all works out the other way and it's balanced and it's fine. So likewise, if you're doing a certain shift pattern, whatever, she needs to do that.
To me, they're not that important. Like, do you know what? Now I think of it, yeah. Like, I wouldn't mind. Not to say I'm lazy or nothing, yeah. But if my girl worked, or if my wife, future wife, worked, yeah. See what I did there? My future wife worked. I wouldn't mind. Do you get me? That'd give me time to do so many things. I'd be at home producing. I'd chase my bag from yard. Yeah, cool. Go downstairs, give the baby the dummy. Yeah, I mean, just shut up. Yeah, I mean, them things there. Go back. Yeah, I'm living lavish, bro. Explain to me why I'm gonna complain. I don't want to work for nobody else. Yeah, which is why. Okay, calm. Like, I don't have a problem with it being in the opposite way. So to kind of close up that topic, I don't think it's important at all. It's more or less finding the routine or the pattern that works for you too. Do you get me? Man's out here, yo, you already know, relationship advisor and that. At me, man's got that. You know what I mean? Just at me there, Grimsy, you know.
So men can choose not to work?
No, because with working, we both need to work because we both need to live. Like, let's say in the situation where one of us is not working, then I'd believe that the person who's not working should be in charge of the household things. If the man is not working, then the man can cook and clean because he's at home all day and that's it. Then I'm bringing in the money. So in that situation, cool. But if we're now both working, we're doing different timetables, then we should also come together and like be cooking for each other and cleaning up after ourselves. That's what I do believe.
It should be a partnership, long story short. The house should be run together. Now, at the same time, I'm an old-fashioned man. Dishes isn't really my thing. It's a thing that my mum has always told me. Dishes, you don't do dishes, innit? There's women in the house. Why are you washing dishes? Do you know what I'm saying? So I would probably, I'm not gonna lie, I'll spin this to my missus to hear what she has to say about it. If she really, really hates it, I'm still gonna stand by it. But I'm gonna be like, look, this is where I'm coming from. I'm not sexist. I'm not saying you should clean dishes. I'm saying let me take up these chores. Calm. I'll mow lawns. I'll do whatever because that's the kind of chores I would prefer to do anyway. Just the way I've been brought up. And to be honest, I just hate dishes, man. Long day. So if you can run that up calm, then fine. But yeah, ultimately, my woman should know how to cook and clean. But I will also know how to cook and clean. Who does it more in the house? That will depend on our schedules. So hopefully we're both busy working people and we're so rich that none of us do it and we have people to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the dream, that none of us be having to cook and clean except from when we want to. Do you know what I mean? Leisurely, do you know what I'm saying? But really and truly, I want my missus and myself to be such hard workers that we're just both out here making our bread, you know what I'm saying, doing our thing. So that's kind of the ideal situation of how I want that to work. So yeah.
Most people these days, right? I'm pretty sure you're raised in a family where both parents are working. Your mom isn't just literally taking care of the kid or just cleaning. Even your dad is probably clean. You yourself are probably cleaning and cooking too. So I feel like spreading those type of responsibilities is more healthier than like putting the role of housewife just to the woman. If it's a choice to be a housewife, then okay, you do you, fam. But the whole hierarchy thing where the man is more important and blah blah blah, that just because he's the one that's coming in with the money, you know, it can be a kind of a detrimental to the whole relationship. And yeah,
I don't think anyone should be held against or you should hold it against someone who, like a man, if they want a woman who her work is to cook and clean and stay in the house, and that is how they've been raised. There's little they can do, especially if they've just been raised from that community. They haven't either traveled or seen how the world or other places operate. So I think it's always dependent. However, in my opinion, having traveled and having been exposed, I definitely want to be with someone who is also exposed and has a different view on life, that we can assist each other when it comes to cleaning in the house. You can cook together, and I don't have any problem with that. So as a person, it's up to you to see who you want to be with. Are they exposed as you are? Are they open-minded? So yes, I think it depends on you as a person and the kind of person that you want to be with. Yeah. So don't think that you can change someone's ideas and values of how they've been raised, especially when it comes to gender also. Yeah.
It's not important nor unimportant to me. It's like, there has to be compatibility. There has to be certain things that just are gonna hopefully naturally just work and naturally just kind of mesh. So, you know, with culture backgrounds and stuff like that, you have to look into like religion and family and how they're gonna perceive your partner. We can't be too kind of naive and ignorant to the fact that, look, if you're coming from a setup that doesn't really accept a certain kind of person, then if you do bring that kind of person, there's going to be challenges with that. And that already is an issue. We can't always have this idea of thinking, but we're in love, so it's going to be fine. But we love each other, so it's going to work out. Because there's love, and then there's like this kind of realness that has to come with it. You know, the actual compatibility of how it's going to work. You know, the mechanics. I almost want to call it mechanics, as awful as that sounds, but like there's the love and the romance and the lust part, which is all great and airy and kind of all up here, and then there's the like the base, the actual kind of mechanics of, okay, can this actually work without one of us fucking getting mad? Because that's very important. So it really depends on how strict you both are and where you're both coming from are, and how easy or willing that they are to learn or improve or let go from that.
It can make things a little bit easier, and so that there's not really a lot of things lost in translation, because at the end of the day, my mom is gonna be her mother-in-law if we get married, or she's gonna have to interact with my mom. So she needs to understand that level of culture that my parents have been brought up with, because they're gonna do things differently. And yeah, like if her culture aligns with mine, it makes things a lot easier, but it's not important at all. It's not important at all.
Oh, it is hard. Having experienced being engaged or traditionally married to a different community, it was a bit hard. So adjusting, trying to learn either their language, their way of life, or how they do things, which was different from how I had been raised, and my values I had a huge culture shock. That is the least, just to say the least. So now, after leaving that situation, I wanted to specifically just have a life partner from my own community after that. However, that changed as well over time.
It's important to a certain degree. It's not the main thing I look at, but it's something that I consider, if that makes sense. With saying that, it's, one of them was, okay, come. It entirely depends on the person before I look at the culture. Like, you can get, say, an African person that doesn't know how to cook and clean, and an African person that knows how to cook and clean. You can get a Jamaican person that knows how to cook and clean, You get me? And one that doesn't know how to cook and clean. You get me? It's like that. You get me? In this life, there's people, all kinds of people. Do you get me? I personally think the cultural background, to me, it's not that big a thing. It more or less comes down to the person's individual qualities, like what they're bringing to the table. Like I say again, what they do, like what we can achieve in it. If I don't see me going to my optimum with you in my life, then you have to depart on the journey, innit? You take your stop, have your rest, have a Kit Kat, have a break. Me, I'll carry on, innit? Man goes to, it's the vision's 2020, innit? So, come on, you know what we do.
That is once you've healed. I think when you're still in your pain and you're still hurting, I think you just make decisions like you just want people from your own community where the culture is the same. You're not expected to do so much or change to fit in or do what they want you to do. I think once you heal, I think you just are open as well to different cultures, especially when you travel as well. You see people from different cultures and I think I'd want someone who maybe has the same values as I have and have been raised with. Maybe they may be from different communities, but the values at least align or they're quite similar.
Yes. Because okay, so yes, because I'm very into my culture. I wouldn't say I'm a professional in my culture, I know everything, but I'm very into my culture. Like, I eat our food, I speak our language, I'm into our music, I'm into some of our traditions. I wear our clothes. Like, I've been raised in a Ghanaian, in the Ghanaian culture basically, and I'd want someone that I can share that my upbringing with. So to me, it's important because I'd also want to raise my kids in the way that I've been raised. So yeah, that's why.
It's not hard to teach somebody about culture. If that person loves you, she'll be willing to learn about it. There are been a lot of black people that have gone with that have gone to a relationship with white people, and those white people have taken in the culture in full stride. I mean, there was that video of that woman at her wedding dancing to Afrobeat and Zonto and everything like that, and then like doing a whole traditional wedding in that way, and like just being immersed in the whole culture. They're like, if they love you, they'll be willing to do that extra bit in order to learn who you are and your background and where you came from, just like how you did being in their country. So it's not important, it just makes it easier. That's literally it.
I can't wife off a girl who has a fucking really strict like Nazi background or something like that. Do you know what I mean? No matter how much I love her, I can love her to pieces, but if that's forever gonna be her setup and her family can basically just not be involved with my family, then what kind of relationship be that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's too much, do you know what I'm saying? It's just too much. There's no love that can withstand that, really, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd say to an extent it matters in extremes like that. However, me personally, like, you don't have to have the same background as me at all. Do you know what I mean? You can be a different race, religion to an extent, depending on how religious you are and how much you practice your religion and how you practice religion, because that's just another tie in general, but I'll go into that. That's probably a question later. But in terms of the actual just like kind of race and cultural background, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be same to me. You just have to be open-minded and be able to understand mine, embrace mine, learn from mine.
Would you ever be a second wife?
It depends. It really depends on the lifestyle he was living before he met me.
What?
Second wife, as in like after he's divorced.
No.
As in no, no, we don't do that where I come from. It's not my cup of tea.
It's not illegal.
To
You're
be
literally
honest.
a girlfriend.
Literally, no, forget that. Hell no. What? Don't ask me that.
Okay.
Would you allow him to get a second?
No.
You can't. It's not legal.
If you want a second wife, please divorce me. If you want to divorce me,
I'm not saying second wife as in signs the papers.
no, yeah, he's not.
Then it's not your wife. Like, I'll let
No,
you-
but culturally, they can do cultural marriage. Not in our culture,
Oh,
but
okay.
some cultures they can do cultural marriage. That's their second wife. Not
But it's not like a legal wife.
not where I come from. Not in my house.
Are they? I didn't know that was the case. Why God-fearing, successful, hard-working women feminists not classed as wifey material?
Aye. If I speak on this topic here, I'm gonna speak firstly from. I'm gonna keep my opinion out of it. Yeah, gonna keep my opinion out of it. The reason being, I feel like this is a conversation I've heard a lot. Do you get me? And had a lot. Now, with that being said, I've heard a lot of different opinions. So, say for example, some people, my brothers, they feel like, okay, come with girls that are like deep into religion. They've got certain things that they look for as opposed to what everyone else looks for. Do you get me? Now, say for example, that might be okay, come celibacy. That might be a certain way of life, weekly routines, daily prayers. Like I'm saying, from my brother's perspectives, some of them man feel some type of way about that, innit? Not to say they aren't Christians, but they just think, okay, come, like, it's a bit much, innit? Like, man's trying to do all this and all that, but Miss is telling me about this, that. Like, it's important, cool, but yo, time is money, innit? Like, end of the day, man does my hours of prayer and da-da-da-da, but yo, it's not every day, innit? Cool.
In whose opinion?
Men.
Men. Well, okay, I'd say any man who thinks that this isn't wifey potential, maybe they're just scared of strong women.
And there's guys that are on the total opposite end of the spectrum. They actually look for a girl that's like that, and it's like, okay, cool, yeah, big man thing that, yo, if she can pattern up all of that, yeah, she's strong in prayer, that means I'm good. You know them brothers, fam. I don't understand their logic sometimes, yeah, like thinking, okay, yeah, man's got an angel as a wife, so I'm gonna be in heaven automatically. Bro, you still gotta check your trap, fam. Yeah, don't be moving mash. But yeah, man, it's yin yang in it. Me personally, I'm not on the fence. I like someone who is religious, someone who practices their religion. Yeah, faith is good, and there's nothing wrong with faith because you need that in life. Whatever you're doing, whether it's music, whether it's modeling, whether it's football, whatever it is you're doing, yeah, you need faith in what you're gonna do, or else you don't have the faith. You know what I mean? Faith is sauce, to put it into modern day terminology. Like, if you don't have the sauce, you're not a saucy don. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to not be saucy. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of them.
That is due to toxic masculinity. That's where that comes from. It's because of what we think it means to be a man. So that's why when women act a certain way, especially if what we deem as being a man is, you know, dominant and strong and outspoken and a leader and going out and doing things and getting things done, which women can do, and that doesn't make them less woman or more man or anything. Women can just do, and men can be like that or not be like that, and doesn't really make them any less man either. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where we've now got this idea that it is a man's title to do all the hard, gritty stuff in life and, you know, not show emotion and not have to be successful, have to be the richest, the sharpest, the tallest, the strongest, the boldest, or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? It's like the EST. We just have to be the est in everything. And then women, you know, you just sit back a little bit and just, you know, do your lane, kind of be my accessory to that almost. That's how a lot of men are built. So that's why they think a woman that's like that wants to be the quickest, fastest, bestest, strongest, whatever, that's a threat now. That's like but no, that's not your lane though. That's not your position, and that's my position. You're this position, and I'm that position. So
why are they not classed as wifey material?
I think they're not classed as wifey material in this day and age because everyone's got it. Well, not everyone, but most people have a different perspective or a different definition for wifey than religious. Do you get me? Most people look at it and they're like, okay, boom, she needs big bunda, she needs big breast, she needs 18-inch wig, 15 million colors. You know what I mean? Like, most people look at materialistic things, man. That's not the M. That's not really what's gonna take you far in life. Cause 10 years, I guarantee Miss is not gonna look the same, innit? Your darling's not gonna be looking like Barbie no more. You know what I mean? She'd more or less be looking like Homer Simpson. You get me? You know what I mean? All them things, but yo, it's all about the love, innit? It's all about the love. Energy matches energy. You get me? She'll still be pretty on the inside. Totally same person. Completely same person. You get me? Don't get it twisted, man. Don't go for looks in this day and age, man. Yo, man said, can't talk too much. Can't shed too much light. But you come back after a night out, yeah, and said the pillow is now wearing her face. And her face is now wearing her pillow. Think about it. Just think about it. You wake up.
I think I'd say maybe they're quite independent. They go for what they want. Maybe they're way more determined. They're way more, let's say, hardworking. Maybe they don't entertain certain things that maybe people may be doing. And yeah, maybe they're way more exposed as well. So maybe they wouldn't fit within the label wife material, because we also need to determine what exactly is wife material. What does wife material entail? Is it you just cooking, cleaning, have children, take care of the home? So we also need to determine exactly what exactly is wife material.
You'll be shocked in it. Let's just say that. To say the least, someone will wake up after a night out with a girl in bed and be shocked, thinking, yeah, like you slap yourself. Am I dreaming? Bro, am I bluffing? You hear me? Am I skunked? What's going on? You hear me? I've got to get, what's that? When's Zani, Mr. Mapunda, you know? I have to give myself that's called the reckoning slap. You hear me? You come back to reality after that one, fam. You leave that bed, never come back to that place again. You hear me? But, yeah, man.
The whole patriarchy type of thing where you want to be the man of the house, maybe that's part of the thing, because if the woman is successful, if you like that she's God-fearing, then that should be a plus. So if she's successful, then she can bring the money, she can raise a beautiful, successful household with you. She could provide things for the children that you probably didn't have if you didn't have that if your parents didn't have the same level of success that she had. Like, there's so much opportunity that opens up just because of that success. Considering that she's God-fearing, there's some value that she's been taught in whatever religion that she decided to go for. And if that aligns with yours, then isn't that a good thing?
I think with feminists, I can understand, because even me, sometimes feminists annoy me. Like, sometimes they're just extra. Like, if we're looking at feminists themselves, sometimes they do a lot. And like, some feminists don't even understand why they'd want a man. Like, what do I need a man for, kind of thing. So as a man, I understand why you wouldn't want to be in a relationship with that, because you wouldn't even know like your place, or like, what can I offer to this relationship. So I do get that. But as far as like God-fearing successful women and not being able to be in a relationship with that type of person, you just get a strong woman. But yeah, with the feminist aspects, that's different.
A feminist is a good thing. We should all be feminists. We should all be wanting women to be strong and outspoken. Like, if I have a daughter, the first thing I want her to do, like, I'm not going to be teaching her dolls and nails and all of that shit. Fuck that. Like, I'm going to take her to go fight. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take her to learn like a martial like art. So if one pagan dude tries to move to her in the streets, yeah, at least she knows that she could break his arm in 7 places. Calm. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make her less women-like or more manly. It makes her a woman that knows how to fight, just like there are men that know how to fight, and that's not a problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so we need to kind of stop seeing certain traits as manly, stop seeing certain traits as womanly or female like, do you know what I'm saying? Feminine, sorry. And then we'll be able to kind of move on from that idea of like, oh yeah, a feminist is a threat. We should all want to be strong individuals for ourselves, and we should all want our women or our significant others to be strong, independent people as well. Do you know what I mean? And then we can always grow.
I've never heard of a person seeing that as not wifey material, but if somebody did that, I can literally chalk it up to, yeah, like feeling insecure about not being the man of the house, or maybe having a woman that earns more than you, or maybe having a woman that has, confident in her value and in what she wants. Maybe they're scared because of that. Like if she knows exactly what she wants, she's harder to control. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I'm just trying to put myself in that perspective because I've never heard that before. Never heard a person that would literally turn down a successful woman for some trash.
Oh, what's going on? How did we end up here? How did this happen? What's that happening? What's that happening? How is this happening? How can we do that?
Who are you?
Do I know you? Why are you in my bedroom? Hello? Like, we have just... come on. How can you do that, man? Darling. Yo. Most of these men don't know what selling dreams is. And y'all do it sick, fam. You go to a shop, she's... nyash all in your face and that. Yeah? Cool. Get to the gaff. Explain to me why there's Moses parting the waters between you in bed. Yeah, you try to close that gap now. It's like, yo, you seen Mortal Kombat? Yeah? Allow that, fam. Then Force is Avatar. These men have got it sick. It's like she just go like this in bed. Whoosh, stay away. Fire for them. What are you playing at, man? But, hey, just be careful in it. Wise up when it comes to girl. You, man. Big man thing. This is coming from my heart, man. Yeah? My brothers, I look out for you, man. Big man thing. Wise up when it comes to girl. Girl, just wise up as well, innit? Wise up as well, but at the same time, what you doing, man? What you doing to my broski? You know what I mean? Broski. Man's really taking a mic with my broski. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't allow that, fam. We don't need it, innit? Look at my chest. I don't need that, fam. All this emotion, raw emotions, yeah? And you're telling, I don't need that, man. Yeah? I don't need to wake up next to Sid the Sloth. I don't need to wake up next to Gorillas. Yo, allow that. Yeah? Come and be straight, like. This is why me, myself, yeah? Like, y'all that wear makeup too tough. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you look pretty, but... Yeah, it's like... What's really under that makeup? You get me? For you to put 50 shades of concealer, mascara, what's the other one? Whatever it's called, man. I forgot the name, but still, yeah, that one. Don't put that. When you come see me, when we go on dinner date, don't put that in it. When you go around to my place, don't do that. We don't do them things, innit? And I say, oh, simple, just hello, natural, yeah. I care about the inside more than the outside. Yeah, and I think that's how most of the guys feel. A lot of the guys literally want a girl that is good vibe, yeah? Regardless of whether she's God-fearing or not. Like, some man care about that, some man don't. Me personally, I do, yeah? That's one thing I need to know. Like, I don't need you to be praying 24/7 every day. Oh, Lord, I pray you sweep the kitchen for me. Nah, allow that, innit? Yeah? You're taking a mick now, innit? You wanna mock my life? Come on now, yeah? And say, next you be banging judging my kitchen. Come off that, phone, yeah? We just need someone with civil and respectful morals. You know what I mean? Simples, man. Let's get along, let's vibe, let's enjoy life. Let's have a bit of a laugh now and again, you get me? Simples.
I'm about to get married and I found out my boy starts dating my ex. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Do what you want. That's my ex, and I've got a new man. I'm getting married to him. Because you saw why me and him broke up. If there was like a major issue, like on his part, like a major character issue, and that's what you want, then if that's what you want, do it. Because I've got a new man now. I'm getting married, I'm not gonna bother myself being angry at the fact that you're with my ex. Like, just because it didn't work out with me and him doesn't mean it can't work out for you and him. So I'm cool with it.
I'm about to get married, and my boys, well, whew. I mean, you see, yeah, this one is one that's actually happened. I'm obviously not married, but my boys got with my ex in it. I don't feel some type of way about it, but I've had it where my brothers moved a certain way because he assumed or he thought that there was a certain that was going on, or because there was communication happening between me and the ex. And this communication was entirely friendly, entirely PG, yeah? Nothing wrong from my perspective, from her perspective. Nothing wrong, yeah? But I don't have a problem with it, innit? The problem I have is when man them start moving sideways or feeling confronted or targeted or belittled, or because of situations that have happened in the past, innit? That, yo, if you can't deal with it, it's not my problem, yeah? It is what it is. C'est la vie. Life happens in a certain way. We move, yeah? If you can't talk to me about it like a man, or if we can't do whatever or move in a certain direction, saying is, bro, shout, yeah? Watch your back still, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't beef over girl, you know what I mean? Beef over girl is mad, you know? It's mad. We don't do it.
I mean, I'm about to get married. Why the fuck should I care about my ex? Like, what does that have to do with me right now? Like, I've got my wifey here, fam. We're about to go on the moon. Why should I have to worry? Why do I need to worry about like some type of ant that I dealt with 10,000 years ago? It makes no sense why that should be a thing.
That's going to be awkward and very awkward and weird. But it depends if me and my ex are on like mutual terms, like we are cordial, we can speak, and am I also willing to have him in my space? Because I know if it's my friend, definitely the boyfriend would either come to family functions and everything. So it will also be dependent. Am I comfortable with having my ex around? That will also include my husband. Will they be comfortable as well having my ex around? So that is a complicated one, because there are people who also, you have to consider other people's feelings. There's also my partner, there's also me. But at the same time, also my friend. You also have to consider her feelings. Maybe this is the person she really likes or loves and wants to spend the lifetime with them. So that is going to be a tough one. It is going to be a tough one.
Depends on which ex. It depends on which ex, man. For real, it definitely depends on which ex and how serious we were at the time. And what my relationship was with my boy. That doesn't make sense. What was my relationship with my boy like at the time that I was with this girl as well? So these things need to correlate. So I'm going to give like a variation of examples. So if this was a girl that I was with for say 3 years, 4 years, anything from kind of like late teens, early 20s, and you've been my boy for that duration, you know, you've met her as my girl, we've linked you know her as my girl in it pretty much, yeah. She knows you as Temi's best friend or whatever. Like, obviously you have your name, she has her name, but that's your relationship with each other. Like, you're close with her. Definitely, I'd expect you to be close with her because she's my girl. But that's why you're close with her, innit?
I mean, I get the whole notion that, oh yeah, it's your boy and that's kind of blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, like, fam, like, that was the past. It's done. Like, if he talks to you, is it okay then, or is it not? If he talks to you and say, yo, me and your girl, yeah, we're kind of like liking each other, like, and we think that something might go with us. Is it okay if I take her on a date? Maybe that might be okay with you, but at the end of the day, like, why should I care about my ex when I'm getting married, fam, to the love of my life?
Is it okay for you to get with her? Yes, it's okay. Because I'm about to get married and she's a person and you're a person that are obviously allowed to get with each other. So yes, it is okay. Do I look at you a little bit differently or a lot differently? Yeah, I look at you a bit strange. Like, okay, there's a lot of girls out in this world. Why my ex? How long have you felt this way about it? Why didn't you ever say anything about it? Why am I only kind of figuring it out now? How long has it been brewing? I just have all these sudden questions and thoughts. I just go, okay.
At this point, why should I care about my ex? It shouldn't really matter. So yeah, let him do his thing. It's his life. Some people are probably thinking, oh well, if he's trying to deal with my ex, then maybe when we were together, he wanted to deal with her. Then I mean, bruv.
It's just a bit strange. I look at you different. This is one of my really good friends. You're getting with one of my exes that I was very serious with at the time, that maybe could have been in this position now that I'm about to get married. That could have been her, but it's not by chance. And now that's you with her. Fair enough. I don't want to stop your love. So run it up. Do you know what I mean? That's why I say it's okay, because I feel like, look, if she wasn't for me, maybe she's for you. I'll just look at you strange, because it's like, why am I sloppy seconds, dog? Do you know what I'm saying? Why am I sloppy? I just look at you strange. But, you know, certain situations, you know, if it's just a girl that I've kind of seen a little bit one time during uni or whatever, she came around a few times, whatever, like, I don't know, something like that. But I never really had serious intentions for in the first place, maybe something like that. Maybe didn't even tell that many of them about. Then, you know, maybe you've just met her later on in life somehow, you've vibed, you've clicked, you've gone on a few dates, whatever. And then you're like, actually, I like you. I know you've been with my boy, yeah, but I actually like you. And that was time ago. This is now. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll really mind. It wasn't really something too deep back then, was it? Then that's cool, man. Like, obviously, that's not really a thing. I'm not going to stop my boy from doing that. And I wouldn't see it as anything strange. I'd just be like, yeah, man, do your thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'd be respectful. Like, even though maybe I've done something with her in the past, or whatever. But if you really liked her, and obviously, like, I've done something with her in the past, and I know that, I'm gonna keep very mute about any history me and her had, so that he can, you know, go forward with no, you know, demons in his head, because I know what that shit's like as well. So, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd be perfectly fine. Because for her to be my ex, yeah, not to say she's a bad person or nothing, but it means things didn't work out, innit? Why am I gonna hold on to someone if things didn't work out? Like, I'm not that person. Nah, yeah, it's simple. It's all about respect, equality, yeah? She deserves somebody else, I deserve somebody else. Simple. You get it?
She was... Wait, your wife comes home with a hooker and says she wants to spice things up by having her join. How would you react? Hell nah. Nah. A hooker, fam. Nah, no chance. I ain't involved. I'm not involved. Oh my days. If you wanted to spice things up, I'd rather you come and talk to me about it, and we go and we try to look for means to spice things up together. But a hooker.
Wait! Your wife comes home with a hooker. I'll repeat for you, man, yeah? And she says she wants to spice things up by having her join. How would I react?
No, like, just kick her out of the house. I'm not having it. And I'm very disappointed in you. Very disappointed in you. Because, no, how can we not even have a conversation? How can you not even bring it to my attention first for me to even know that this is what you're thinking about? You just brought this girl into our home. Just like that. Not even like you brought a prostitute into the house. And you just like, oh, let's spice. No, I can't. What? Nah. I'm not saying even after the conversation that I'd be okay with it. But we're not spicing up the relationship that way. It's a no from me.
Does she want to take me first, or does my wife want to go first? Fam, let's have fun in it. Yo, can I show you some illustrations? Yeah, check it. My wife now, yeah, maybe she can, I don't know. Me, I'll sit down, innit? Yeah, I'll sit down. My wife maybe can sit on this lap. The hooker can sit on this lap. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, baby?
You can both leave the house. That is No. No. There are other ways you can spice up the bedroom matters. Why would you bring another lady? You may end up developing feelings for that lady, and you like her, and one thing leads to another. Or I may end up having feelings for the lady, whichever the case. So it is no, it's a no. That is not even up for discussion, for debate. If you want the lady, you can just pack and live together. You can just go together.
Oh, this is my wife, innit? Yeah. How you doing, baby? Who's your friend that you brought into my humble abode? Yeah. Cool. Oh, is that hookers? Hey, everything fine, yeah? Cool. You know, like, fam, you can tell you're, like, I don't know you, man, yeah, but I can tell when girl are being serious and when they're not, innit? She's serious. Why in the world? Tell me one reason, yeah? Not to say I'm moving wrecky or nothing, but tell me one reason why I'm gonna go against my wife's decision. My wife decided to bring a hooker, yeah, into my house, my humble abode. And now you want me to chase this hooker out and then deal with my wife who brought the hooker into, you see the mathematics, yeah? You want me to now chase her out, the hooker, to keep my wife in here and have her salty and muddy and screaming at me. When really and truly, man could have been doing break off your back on the settee with number 1 and number 2. Are you nuts? Are you pumped? Like, are you... Don't get me twisted, man. Hey, come and lock off the show, man. Man got hooker and wife to deal with, innit? Yeah, man. That's simple, man.
Bomba clot! Ross! Jesus is Lord. My God. Okay, how would I react to that? A hook. Okay, look. Coming back with like a fit friend or something, I'd be gassed. A hooker is a bit like, that's mad, bro. A hooker, like, where are we? Are we in Dam where it's all, you know, pay the documents are there, you get me? All legal documents is all signed clean, tested and that, then maybe I'll run it up, just saying. But like, okay, a hook in the UK, that's a bit filthy, you know, that's a bit dead, bruv.
Hooker, fam. We don't know what's been in there. We've heard stories about hookers putting cucumbers in their vaginas and shit like that. So no, nah, it's not happening at all. I'm not catching no Corona 2.7. I'm not catching no other disease out here. Nah, it's not happening. I'm not part of it. I'm dipping straight away. As soon as I see that hooker, nah, I'm cleansing that house and dipping. That's it, fam. That is it. There's no way that I'll be out here trying to involve myself with a hooker, fam. Nah, that's nasty, fam. That is nasty. If you're cool with it, that's you, fam. That may be your type of fetish, not mine. The hookers are sex professionals, fam. That's the profession, is to have sex and do whatever they need to do to make that money, whether it is putting a melon in their vagina, because you know that people have different type of fetish, and some fetishes are disgusting.
Hook in the UK, that's a bit mad. I'd be like, honey, you don't fit health. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bruv, like, I don't know, that'd be a bit mad. But like, say she came back with like a, okay, so for example, I've actually dated bisexual girls in the past, innit? So say she came back with just a girl that she knew from somewhere, maybe not a close friend, but just an acquaintance of some sort. Maybe she thinks she's good looking and the girl thinks my girl's good looking. She brings her back. Now I think she's good looking. Then yeah, run it up, bro. Run it up. That's fun because that's just banter, innit? That's just banter because that's just banter.
There are other ways you can spice up the room. Yo, you can go to us. There are very many ways. Very many. Other than
So imagine this, like she's out here eating toast with ketchup or something like that. She hasn't even brushed her teeth. Your wife is like, yo, she finds the nearest hooker that she finds. Oh, yo, come in. Oh, we wanna spice things up for our marriage. Will you come back to my house? Come. And then you end up lipsing this girl that's literally had her mouth in somebody's toes with a bunch of nah, fam. That is not for me. I'm not about that life. You'll never find me touching no hookers, fam. It's not. It's nah. Disgusting. No corona for me, fam. It's not. It's not happening.
I've actually been in a situation, in that situation before. So I was in a nightclub, yeah. It's the same. It's one of the same girls as before, actually. But so I'm in a nightclub now, and I'm chilling with my girl. Cool, everything's calm. This other girl, who's obviously into girls as well, and my girl was bisexual, so this other girl is obviously into girls as well. It's all like, oh yeah, like you're cute, blah 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 blah. Just this, that. I want to take your girl, kind of thing. And then I'm all looking at her, she's all looking at me, kind of thing. But long story short, yo, we actually like arranged this threesome, and then me, my girl, and this girl that we've met at the club, we arranged it. We're like, cool, we'll all head back together, kind of thing. This girl ends up being like shit-faced drunk in the club anyway, like paralytic, and gets like taken up by bouncers or some shit like an hour later. So obviously it never happened, but it was just funny that I was actually in that situation. My boy was looking at me like, bruv, I hate you, you know. I'm out here, no girl yet. You're here with your girl, and then you're about to leave with another one for why? For why? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, nah. It was a jokes night, but it didn't even happen in the end. So yeah.
What would you man do? Get me, if it was like, I'm gonna flip this, yeah? If it was cool, your husband and his boy, or your husband and a hooker, a male hooker, or something like that, yeah? Most of you girl, or all of you, oh hi! You have your husband feeling salty by the end. You'll be like, yeah, what a dick, fam. I'm gonna probably go dip this guy, fam. Yo, you give him more better ride than you give your own husband. He'll look at you and think, yeah, that's how you're feeling. Yeah, he won't be happy with you. You get me? So don't be coming at me talking, listen, hooker and wife. You get me? Man can do that. It's all up to my wife, innit? If she's happy with it, I'm happy with it. This is what man them need to understand, man. Happy wife, happy life. Think about it.
Nah, I mean, like if we had a conversation and she wanted to spice things up, like I would not accept a hooker. But if we found a person, like just an individual that we were both keen on, and we were like, okay, come, you can be part of our little open little session, and you can join us, I would understand it then. But a hooker, their profession is to have sex, fam. That's their profession.
Bruv, as a woman, man, you should have respect for yourself, you know, respect for your vagina, you know, but that shit's a sacred hole, you know. It's a hole, blood. It's just a hole. There's nothing special about it, but it's a hole. But you should have respect for it, man. Like, this girl ain't got no respect, man. Like, fucking, have you actually put a camera, a microscope in the girl's vagina? Hella pink. I usually pink walls, you know. I mean, I don't know, bruv.